think that we're talking about light years of progress in terms of making a positive impact on the lives of the folks that we are charged for by law to care and the care and custody of these individuals.
I spent a lot of time through my early 20s going to jail, and I went to prison before for fraud. So that's when I was in my addiction. I was doing crystal meth. So I was clean for 5 years and out of trouble for 5 years and doing really good and going to school full time. And I relapsed in August.
We're learning more about recidivism. We're learning more about outcome-based and evidence-based practices. Well, some of the things we're learning about are the fact that there are differences between the genders in terms of their needs and from a rehabilitative standpoint. We've learned more about what we call generational recidivism. So, for example, we've learned that children of women in custody are 5 times more likely to end up in jail than their peers.
Like, my mom and dad were heroin addicts, and I wasn't raised by them. I was raised by my grandma, group homes, foster homes, so I never really had like a proper upbringing. So I chose to just rebel my whole early 20s and stuff. So I just ran away a lot, and I just was hooked on crystal meth really bad. Basically, there's only so much they can do because this jail is so small and so it's old, and if you're pregnant here, they have to call San Mateo County Hospital, or you have to go to Stanford, and they have to book us appointments, and then we have to be shackled and sent to the hospitals and walk through the hospital in orange with shackles on to have your ultrasound done and all your main appointments, because they don't have any of that equipment here.
Two things that have really driven this project. One is the deplorable conditions at the women's facility. That facility was built and opened in the early 80s. It was designed for 84 female inmates. We have had as many as 160 in that facility, and it is an old design. It's outdated given current correctional practices, and it's starting to fall apart because it's been overused so much.
That after I deliver my baby here at Stanford, that I need someone to pick up my baby and keep her until I get to prison, and then in prison, once I get my paperwork done, it takes about 4 months, they'll hopefully endorse me to the mother-infant program, where they send you to wherever they have a bed at in different programs for mother-infant and their baby. And if I qualify, I'll be able to go there, which I qualify because I don't have violence, I don't have arson.
Well, one of the things that we currently don't have that we will have in this new facility is the ability to segregate and separate different classes of inmates. So one of the shortfalls of that facility is it's a maximum security facility, and all the inmates in there are have to be treated as such because of situations with contraband and escape risk and things like that. So the new facility, we hope to have sections. We have one area that's transitional housing. We have areas that we're going to be able to keep these maximum security inmates away from the minimum security inmates, so that things like contact visiting can occur with one segment of the population, while others are kept with the more traditional behind the glass, or what we're going to hopefully institute video visiting.
I want to be a mother, I want a chance to be a mother. I made a mistake. I'm not minimizing it, but I don't want my baby taken from me.
When someone is in custody, a woman, and she gives birth while she's in custody, all the joy and all the things that parents go through when they have a new child are kind of turned upside down when they are in jail and they have to be taken in handcuffs to a hospital to deliver, and they get to spend a very brief amount of time with their child, and then they're back in jail and their child goes elsewhere.
It's really scary because whoever I trust my baby with is going to get attached to my baby, and then I'm scared they're not going to want to give me my baby back.
So I can't imagine as a parent myself of a more difficult and more stressful way to experience that what is normally a joyous occasion.
I know I'm gonna stay here to have my baby. I know I'm getting 5 years. I signed for it because I didn't want to go up any further, and there's only a certain amount of time you can have to get to the mother. And see, in California prisons, they have options for you. But when you're in this county jail, there's no options for you. And I think it's the worst. It's my biggest fear right now. When I deliver my baby at Stanford, I'm having a C-section, so maybe I'll stay 4 days there with her, you know? And in those 4 days, I have to be separated from her and come here. And that's like going to be the hardest thing for me.
What we are looking at is how can we, to the extent possible, help facilitate that bonding experience, to help facilitate that parenting, parent-child relationship to get off on as normal or as as hopeful of a footing as possible.
It's like not fair because I feel like it's not the baby's fault that I got arrested. It's not, and it's not. I mean, I made a mistake, but I just feel like because I'm pregnant, I just feel like the judge should have had a little bit of leniency on me. And I'm not trying to be set scot-free. I want to do the time for what I've done, but I was like hoping that I could. My attorney tried so hard for me too. Like I got the really hard judge and I got a really hard DA, and they didn't care. And it's just like everybody thinks it's ridiculous. My attorney thinks it's ridiculous. They were my own checks, I know I was wrong for doing it, but I mean seriously, there's like worse things going on in this world that they have to send me to prison for 5 years for that and separate me from my baby. I'm not one of these women who's been in here numerous times pregnant and I have a whole bunch of kids from a whole bunch of different men. I'm not, you know what I mean? This is my first time and a chance at being a mother,
When you're talking about someone like that that's on their way to state prison, this isn't a first-time situation. It's kind of a repeat offender. It's a person that has had many chances to, adhere to the program, so to speak, and has chosen this path. And whether it's driven by substance abuse or lack of job readiness, and those are the types of things that we're trying to address in this new facility, because we know that 70% of the women have a substance abuse issue, that 22% have a serious mental health issue, that 60% were unemployed at the time of their arrest. So we know that there are some significant issues that we can identify, and to the extent that we can build programming and build a facility that helps to facilitate success in those areas, that we can make a long-term positive impact.